Hi friends, I'm Olivia Smith. Thanks for visiting my YouTube channel where I share the latest global news every day. You can also read more news on TimeGlitter.com. You can find all the links in the video description below. Friends, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, share with others, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now let's jump into today's news. News headline: A young woman's killing in Georgia stokes a familiar right-wing war. News details: The recent tragic death of 22-year-old nursing student Laken Riley at the University of Georgia has grabbed the attention of the entire country. Unlike many other cases of violence, this incident has become a focal point for both media coverage and political discussions. One reason for this heightened attention is its potential use as a rallying cry in right-wing election campaigns. Last year, the number of homicides dropped significantly after a surge in violence during the pandemic. Early estimates indicate that violence levels across the country have fallen to their lowest in nearly 6 decades. However, despite this positive trend, many Americans perceive violence as on the rise. This perception is fueled by the fact that violent incidents often dominate media coverage. Additionally, when a young woman is murdered by a stranger, it tends to attract even more attention due to the rarity of such occurrences. FBI data from 2022 shows that out of 3,653 women murdered, less than a quarter were victims of strangers. According to the Violence Policy Center, approximately 92% of murdered women knew their attacker. Therefore, Laken Riley's murder by a stranger is statistically very rare, occurring only once in a million cases. The location of Riley's death also contributes to the heightened attention it receives. The University of Georgia campus holds significant importance for the people of Georgia, both socially and politically. A homicide on campus is deeply upsetting for many, as it tarnishes what is considered sacred ground. UGA plays a major role in Georgia's sports culture and is a top choice for the majority of college students in the state. Notably, many state legislators, members of Congress, and even the governor, Brian Kemp, are alumni of the university. The reason Laken Riley's name has become widely known, unlike the hundreds of other women killed by strangers in the past year, or the individuals held on murder charges at the Clark County Jail, is primarily because of the circumstances surrounding the case. The suspect, Jose Ibarra, is an undocumented migrant who has had previous brushes with the law without facing deportation. Additionally, the victim being young, female, and white has also contributed to the media attention surrounding the case. Governor Kemp highlighted this tragedy during a recent news conference, using it to criticize the immigration enforcement policies of the Biden administration. He described the situation as a major crisis, emphasizing the need for stronger immigration measures. According to him, incidents like Laken Riley's murder are evidence of the failures in current immigration policies, suggesting that every state now faces border-related challenges. Georgia's state penitentiaries currently house around 50,000 inmates. According to the Georgia Department of Corrections, approximately 1,600 of these prisoners had ICE detention orders as of January's end. This number has increased by about 100 since President Biden took office, reflecting heightened enforcement efforts. Among Georgia's incarcerated population, around 9,100 individuals are serving sentences for various forms of homicide, including murder, manslaughter, and other types of killings. Out of the 7,050 convicted murderers, 182 are potentially subject to deportation. Research from the Pew Research Center indicates a decline in Georgia's undocumented population from 2011 to 2021, dropping by over 10% to approximately 350,000 individuals, constituting about 3.2% of the state's residents. Additionally, immigrants, whether legal or undocumented, are statistically less likely to be involved in violent acts compared to native-born U.S. citizens. Michelle Mittelstadt, who serves as the Director of Communications and Public Affairs for the Migration Policy Institute and is also a UGA alumna, highlighted the concerning trend of politicizing immigrants and falsely portraying them as more prone to committing crimes. She explained that such narratives often stem from isolated tragic incidents, which are then wrongly generalized to an entire group of people. The media's tendency to sensationalize stories involving innocent victims killed by individuals of color is a long-standing trope in Southern politics, reminiscent of the Reconstruction era. Despite the historical context, conservatives frequently exploit cases like Laken Riley's murder to advance their anti-immigration agenda. Former President Donald Trump, known for his inflammatory rhetoric on immigration, seized upon Riley's tragic death to further his political messaging. He took to Truth Social, a platform he frequents, to blame President Biden's immigration policies for the incident. Trump's statement underscored his habit of amplifying murder cases where the victim is a U.S. citizen and the accused is an immigrant, using such incidents to stoke fear and rally support for his hardline immigration stance. In 2016, the Trump campaign rallied around the prosecution of Jose Inés Garcia Zarate, who was accused of fatally shooting Catherine Steinle in San Francisco. Garcia Zarate, a homeless undocumented migrant who had been deported multiple times, was ultimately acquitted of murder in 2017 but pleaded guilty to a weapons possession charge. In response to the tragic death of Laken Riley, legislators in Georgia have begun pushing for changes to state laws. Georgia House Speaker John Burns expressed concerns about the administration of justice at the local level following Ibarra's arrest. He indicated that the House leadership would seek answers regarding why the suspect and his brother were able to move freely in the Athens area. 3 bills addressing immigration enforcement are swiftly progressing through the legislative process. One of these bills aims to require police and sheriff's departments to assist in identifying, arresting, and detaining undocumented immigrants for deportation. The high-profile nature of the incident in Athens, Georgia, has intensified scrutiny on the county's district attorney, Deborah Gonzalez. Known for her progressive policies, Gonzalez has been a target for conservative lawmakers. She has called for a special prosecutor for Ibarra's case and announced that she will not seek the death penalty. Congressman Mike Collins, who represents Athens in Congress, recently addressed a letter to Athens Mayor Kelly Gertz and Clark County Sheriff John Q. Williams. In the letter, Collins demanded an end to what he termed sanctuary policies for undocumented migrants in Athens. He specifically pointed out the sheriff's policy of refusing to comply with immigration detainers for 48-hour holds, along with an Athens-Clark County resolution aimed at creating a community where individuals and families of all statuses feel safe and can prosper. Although Georgia state law explicitly prohibits cities from adopting sanctuary city policies that defy federal immigration regulations, Collins suggested in his letter that Athens had effectively become one in both word and action. He referenced the Center for Immigration Studies designation of the county as a sanctuary city. It's worth noting that the Center for Immigration Studies was founded by avowed white supremacist John Tanton and is considered a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Amid the political discourse surrounding the Riley murder, leaders from immigrant-oriented organizations in Georgia gathered on Wednesday to discuss their response. Santiago Marquez, CEO of the Latin American Association in Georgia, expressed his initial reaction as both a father and a human being, describing the incident as heartbreaking and devastating. He also voiced his disappointment at the anticipated backlash within their community. Friends, don't forget to hit the like button, drop a comment, share with others, and subscribe to the